Hi everyone, here we are recording Monday 29th of September 2025. It's just Vici and I this week, minus Simon. He's still recovering from the hangover to end all hangovers after he MC'd his favourite cousin's wedding on Saturday evening. A perfect way to keep off the taper for Melbourne Marathon. As far as local results go, there's the 6th annual Denmark Half Marathon to cover on the weekend just gone, as well as results from Collie River Ultra a couple of weeks back that we neglected to mention on the podcast last week. Without Simon Says, we've upgraded to Vici's Verbalisations this week, talking about our live show on Wednesday, 1st of October at the Running Centre, and of course, our weekly Weapons of Warp. Across my screen is our new co-host of, only 3 weeks old, Ricky Richardson. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me back. Week 2. And I'm not sure it's an upgrade, to be honest, from Simon Says, but we'll see how it goes.
It might, hopefully more eloquent anyway. All right, well, let's get straight into training weeks. Vici, how did you go this week?
Yeah, it was good. I'm still feeling quite tired actually, but I do think I probably run a couple of my long run yesterday a bit quicker than I perhaps should have done, which is not surprising for me. So I did. I had probably. I think I said last Monday that I was starting to feel a little less tired after my heart rate being high after Sydney, and just feeling like I was taking a while to recover from that. So 63 Ks for the week I did, so not massive, but not too shabby either. I did a couple of gym sessions as well, so that was good. I feel like if I can just do that for a couple of weeks, I'll get back into that routine, which will be great. And I did a couple of a speed session on Tuesday and a 2 by 10 minutes at tempo on Saturday morning. Did that at UWA Park Run, which was probably, as I said to Simon last week when we were talking about doing sessions with other people, like obviously ran far too fast for tempo. I think what I was saying this morning to the group, one of my 10-minute blocks was 4:12 or something, so like clearly not tempo for me. But it was okay. It felt good. So made me feel quite positive. And I think I'm not going to do Perth Marathon. I haven't changed my mind from last week, but I think I am going to commit to doing a bit more speed work and trying to tick off and get this monkey off my back, which is a sub 20-minute 5K, which I've had as a goal for years now. And I just really need to just tick that one off. So as my travel arrangements are a little bit uncertain over the next few weeks and months, because I'll be going back to the UK at some point. I figure there's no point in entering races, but a 5K is there whenever I want it to be. So either at parkrun or just as a time trial. Nice. And so I'm going to do that, and then I also realised yesterday or the day before that I'd committed to a last person standing event. So that kicked off today. How
does that work? What is
So I didn't actually fully understand the concept of it until a few weeks ago when I heard a friend of mine from the Wolves, Mark, he chatted to Shannon and Hayden on crap, and he's been in one for I don't know how long now, but they're probably up to 30 odd weeks, I think. So basically what it is it's 1 kilometre on week 1, 2 kilometres on week 2 in a single run. This one that I've just joined is I think it's the second or third time they've run this competition. And I think last time it got to about 74, I want to say like 74 weeks.
Wow.
So I think, don't quote me on that. So it's a fairly big one, long one. So I will have a crack at that and see how it goes.
Yeah. So potentially competing goals of doing a sub 25K and a potential 75 kilometre run at some point.
Yeah, but not for 75 weeks. So that's okay. Like it's not until next March 2027 or something. My
so
maths
true.
even later. So longer than that, isn't it? So yeah, I've got ages to build up to that.
Oh, easy. You'll knock that on the head by then easily. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
I'm curious to ask about your long run actually being too fast. I think you've mentioned it to me that some of the crew down at Yellow or at BTRC like to run their long runs quick. Did you run with them on the weekend, or was it of your own doing this weekend?
I can't run with them. They're far too fast for me. Not on a Sunday anyway, because they say they're going to go at a 5-minute pace and they end up like 4:20s or something. It's just crazy fast, and I end up just hanging off the back. So no, I tend to run on my Sunday runs with Perth Tri Club. So they do a long run on a Sunday, generally from City Beach, which is convenient for me. So we just went up the coast and back, and I saw some of the BTRC crew out on the coast. But we still ran too fast. even with that group. So, they tend to split off into a few different groups. There was about maybe 10 people there yesterday. And there was me and a couple of others that were sort of at the front, and then just some guided slower, or some different groups kind of carve off in depending on what distance they're going, what time they're running for, and things like that. But it was too quick. It was 5-minute K pace, which for me, it's just too fast for me to be running a long run at. And I felt it today on my recovery run, which was also too fast. So yeah, that was me. How about you? How did you go?
It was a good week last. A bit of a funny one. I started the week with 2 days off, so I had to go down south on Tuesday for work. So it was an early start, late finish. So I didn't get out on that day, but managed to get out for a session on Thursday with Simon and a friend of ours, Lan. I did 6 by a mile there around Gallup. On Saturday, I flagged maybe the week before that I might do a solo time trial. I was going to hopefully do it as a park run, but I think I have a gripe with park run in that it's just because it starts at 8:00. It's just too late for me. So I really wish it started at 7 or even 7:30. But so instead, I went to Gallup again and did that by myself. So happy with the result. Much faster than I expected I was going to run on that time trial. So very happy with that.
What did you do? What time?
I ran 17:31, I think. So
nice.
I can't call it a PB because it wasn't a race, but it's good signs anyway because I'm training for a 10K at Freo Running Festival, and that'll kind of my time will now have something to pivot off. The goal time will have some evidence based stuff to go from, so that's good.
And that was your fastest 5K time, like non-race,
correct?
No race. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
awesome.
And managed pretty even splits, so I'm pretty stoked. I going in, I thought possibly I'd be around 18 minutes, but when the first K came out at 3:28, I thought, well, now I've kind of committed to this pace. I have to try and hold it. So I think I went pretty close to that. I slowed down slightly towards the back, but not by much. That was good. And then Sunday I did a 35K long run, kind of like the peak run ahead of Perth Running Festival, with 2 by 5 kilometre efforts. Again, with a friend of ours, Lan. He's training for a 1:25 half at Melbourne Marathon Festival in a couple of weeks' time. So those 5 kilometre efforts were at 4-minute pace for him. And so, I actually really struggled in that run. I think, the second rep, I was, just not feeling great, whereas Ordwin and Lan were actually pretty strong. So it was good that they took the front and I just tagged off the back. Before that second 5K rep, we actually bumped into Kat Watt. She was coming the opposite way. And then she kind of tagged into us and we said, we're about to start a rep. And she said she'll jump in for her final kilometre. She'll do a 4-minute kilometre. So that's what we did. And as soon as we started running, Kat just told us we don't talk when we're doing 4-minute kilometres. So everybody be quiet and lock in. So, that was good. Good to see Kat and Jess Smith also briefly as we dropped Kat off. I think they were all catching up. A few of Kat's, athletes and friends locally. So I think Loz was there as well. And Very cool. So a nice
That's
week
great.
altogether. Managed 98 Ks, probably not as many as I wanted, but given I had the 2 days off at the start, pretty happy.
Solid week. I was going to ask you how you went on that long run after your 5K time trial. I mean, 4-minute pace is still pretty spicy for within a 35K long run after the day after a 17.5-minute 5K.
Exactly. It's probably my own doing, to be honest, overdoing it a little bit, doing that 5K time trial. Then I went to the gym on Saturday afternoon and then, so there's probably a bit too much chucked into a weekend, but I think we're all guilty of that sometimes.
100%. Yeah, I agree. And I would also, I saw that Kat was running around the river on Strava. That 4-minute K rep would have been absolutely metronomic, I imagine, with her on the front.
Yeah, absolutely. And she was on the front. Absolutely. Yeah. So grateful to catch, even if it was just 1.5 Ks with Kat. It was good.
Yeah, nice.
Don't get that opportunity very often. So
that's awesome.
All right. Well,
good.
Let's jump into results quickly. I'll start with the Collie River Ultra, which was back on the 13th of September. I think we mentioned a couple of results from that last week, but given we didn't get access to them all beforehand, we'll go through them now. We got the 100K. The men's was won by Graydon Wilson in 11 hours and 14 minutes. Shane Arris came second in 11:29, and then James Siggins in 11:30. The women's 100K was won by a very familiar name, Kirsten Buist, in 13 hours 7 minutes, followed by Alicia Parrish in 13 hours 48 minutes and Michaela Foy in 14 hours 3 minutes. The 50K, as we mentioned last week, was won by men. The men's was won by Soto Mayhara in 4 hours 15 minutes, which was a 56-minute course record, if I'm not mistaken. Scott Tamblin came second in 4 hours and 37 minutes, which would also have been a course record if it weren't for Soto. But the interesting thing about Scott is he started the race 6 minutes late. So, very impressive to overtake most of the field there. Kevin O'Brien came third in 5 hours and 27 minutes. And then the women's, Kylie Shipp won the 50K in 5 hours 25 minutes, followed by Katie Bradley in 5 hours 35 minutes. And finally, Caitlin Graham in 5 hours 43 minutes. We had an 80K relay there as well. Top three there were the Wallylup Woylies in 6 hours 19, followed by 3 Athletic in 6 hours 56, and the replacements in 7 hours and 9 minutes. I'm not sure who makes up those teams, but Wallylup, I guess, is Fremantle, if I'm not mistaken. So
potentially the replacements were not the original members of that team.
Exactly. It would be interesting if the entire original team did disappear somehow.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a Warp Transcend team, to be honest, but
yeah. How do you know that Scott started the race 6 minutes late? Is that showed on the results or his start time?
No, it wasn't. I actually saw it on our Instagram. Tina Tamblin, presumably Scott's partner, wife, shared that with us on our Instagram. So thankful for Tina letting us know that.
That's
very funny.
Very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably not the most ideal way to run a race, but sometimes it's fun to chase down people rather than lead from the front.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen his first couple of Ks. I bet they were pretty
for sure.
Tasty. Okay, I'll get into the Denmark Half Marathon, which happened yesterday. I saw on social media that it was pretty atrocious weather. It didn't look too bad from the photos, but I imagine it was pretty windy, wild and windy down there, and there were quite a lot of people wearing big coats and beanies. So it looked like an English summer's day to me. But so there was the 10K and the 21K. So I will kick off with the females. For the 10K, we had Abby Barber in 44:07. Stevie Donoghue in 48:39, and Rebecca Lewis was third in the 10K for the females in 52:22. The males, we had Caleb Benson in 40:06, taking out first place. Belinga Pascoe was second in 42:17, and James Hook was third male in 43:21. In the 21K, we had first female, Sarah McPherson, in 1 hour 48 minutes. I don't have seconds on there, but I'm sure it doesn't matter too much. Rita Quayle was second in 1:57:27, and Ruth Manditz sorry if I've pronounced that incorrectly, in 1:59.05. And then the males, we had Mike Lawson in 1:24.57. Sam Baxter Hull something, and that is not an incorrect pronunciation. That is because there is a PDF of the results and it cuts off the end of Sam's surname. So I don't know.
Maybe Holland, if I'm not mistaken. Holland, I think I've seen his name before. Okay.
Sam Baxter Holland, let's go with that, in 1:26.29 was second male, and Raji Hakim was third male in 1:30 and 10 seconds. And I think those times probably reflect the hilly course. I haven't done that race actually, but in Denmark, having run down there a bit, I can imagine it's a pretty hilly course, that one.
Yeah, the photos indicates it is quite hilly, quite windy, I'd imagine, on the south. But yeah, no, good stuff for everyone getting down there. I think Mike Lawson's a local here, so made the trek down there to have a crack, and I think he's running Melbourne Marathon. All right, so just last week we mentioned the World Mountain and Trail Running Championships. So I mistakenly left Jess Jason off of the WA representatives list last week. I called out Vlad but didn't call out Jess. Jess is technically representing ACT these days, but I think she's originally from WA. So noting my mistake, they were representing Australia in the 45k short course. Vlad finished 89th out of 198 starters in 5 hours 56, and Jess finished 78th out of 162 starters in 7 hours and 24 minutes. So, yeah, really impressive stuff from those guys. I think when I was listening to Vlad on the Peak Pursuits podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he said if he finished in the top 50, he would be surprised. So, I'd be interested to see, maybe listening to him in the coming week or so, what his reflections are of that race. From all accounts, I think Jess seemed like she had a good time based on what I saw on her Instagram. So, looked like an incredible event. I'm not sure if you saw any of that, Vicky, but
I didn't know. It's kind of passed me by a bit.
There's some. Kind of. I think a couple of the big Americans won the long course in Jim Walmsley, and I think. Yeah, it looks like an incredible course out there in Spain in the Pyrenees. So, maybe in my future sometime. Maybe not the world champs though.
Maybe not, but you never know. You never know. Like we spoke about last week, Harry Styles could make the world champs, and you could make the trail world champs. Yeah. Let's not write anybody off.
Yeah, give me 10 years. We'll see how we go.
Absolutely.
A quick update on the Bibbulmun Track FKTs going on right now. So we've got Aaron Young and Mackenzie Burgoyne out there, 2 days behind Aaron. Looking at Aaron's tracker, so he's just nearing on 6 days completed. I think he's been basically, according to his Strava, he's basically moving in 18-hour shifts with 18 hours of movement, 2 hours of rest in there somewhere, and 4 hours of sleep each night, which is pretty crazy. And as I checked a moment ago, he's done 627 kilometres. He's probably got a couple more hours to go before he packs up for the night, which is awesome. And then Macca has had his first 3 days have been quite tough by all accounts. So he's had everything from equipment failures to some nutritional issues, and his tracker seems to have gone down, but he's still providing updates on Instagram. He was moving quite well today, according to his story. So he's on day 4. He's somewhere, he would have been somewhere between Walpole and Northcliffe yesterday. So I think he's past Northcliffe now. It looks, I think you were saying earlier that Shannon might have put up a post on Instagram looking for some people to pace Macca over the next few days.
Yeah, I saw a post from Shannon earlier that said that I think they've had a couple of people that haven't been able to make it for the next 2 days of his running. So if anyone is out there listening and is in the vicinity of wherever he's going to be in the next 2 days, don't ask me where that's going to be. But I'm sure Shannon will be able to help. They'd love some support. I think this is awesome. This is incredible to watch, and it's great that it's happening. They're doing it at the same time. So if I'm not mistaken, Aaron's goal is to complete it in 9 days, and Macca's is to complete it in 8. But they started a day apart, so they effectively, if they both do what they've set out to do, they will both finish on the same day. Is that right? Have I got
I
that
think they
right?
started 2 days apart, so they might finish,
Oh, okay.
a day or so apart.
Okay.
They're both very aggressive goals, I think.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see how the next couple of days play out, because I think this is where it starts to get hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
After kind of day 5, I mean, it's obviously going to be hard all the way through. But day
Yeah.
5, 6, I mean, you think about it as a 10K race, the 6th or 7th kilometer is typically where you start to fall apart. So,
Yeah.
look, I'm sure that it's no different to running a 900 or 1,000 kilometers over the course of 8 or 9 days. So
Yeah, 100%. We were chatting about it this morning, and somebody was saying, I think it was Ash, saying, I think they're on it like they're banking time, so they're both like on a negative split trajectory at the moment. I'm like, I don't know, is that good? Is that good in a 8 to 10 day event?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I think the first couple of sections are really slow because there's quite a lot of water, a lot of sand. But as they get up onto the kind of up past Northcliffe and into Pemberton, like, it becomes a little flatter, I think. So hopefully, So I think Mac is. So as of tomorrow, he should be leaving Pemberton, heading toward Ballingup, and then the following day is Ballingup to Collie. So when Simon releases this episode tomorrow morning, if you're in those areas, by all means, get in touch with Shannon, and she'll point you in the right direction to go and help out Macca.
And one other thing I will. Sorry, Chris. Carry on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it's obviously going to be very lonely out there for him. So
yeah,
he needs the help.
Yeah, 100%. I would. I did actually think, could I just take a day off work this week and pop down? Unfortunately not, but I would love to help. It would be an awesome thing to do. I must say, I have seen so many snakes on their Instagram stories, and I would not be loving that.
Nah, me neither. I mean, these warmer months, it just starts to become always something that's ever present in the back of your mind, right? And if you're seeing multiple of them a day, it's just pretty scary. But hopefully everyone's being safe and
They just don't seem to move, do they? They're just like, no, I'm on my path. You could go around.
I found my patch of sun and I'm not moving.
Yeah. I think Macca's count on his first day was 15 snakes.
Wow.
From what I saw. So,
that's wild. Yeah. No, thank you very much.
Maybe I take that back. Maybe I'm not going to help. I wouldn't help.
Maybe on the sections closer to Perth, where maybe the trail's a bit more open or something. But
and he can run ahead, and I'll just run behind, and he will have his vibrations will have got rid of them. Yeah, it's fine.
Hopefully, yeah. All right, cool. Well, I'll quickly jump into upcoming events because we've got a lot coming on the next couple of months. I guess just as ahead of summer and before Christmas, everyone's trying to squeeze in as many events as they can. We've got the WA Coastal Running Festival at Lake Gulalal, which I think is either the first or second year of this kind of running series. We had one a few weeks back. I'm trying to remember where it was, but this has got everything from 5 to 15K, and then there's like relays of 20 and 30K. That's on the 5th of October, so that's this coming Sunday. So I think the weather is looking absolutely wild on Wednesday, so on Sunday. So good luck to anyone who's going to be out there. The Marathon Club have the Wally Cairns Park Run the same day up in Kings Park.
Pancake run, not park run. Pancake run.
Pancake. Thank you. Oh, yeah. No, it's obviously, my brain's not quite working, but I think they're raising money for M&D, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if Tina's involved in that somehow, but there's a 5K loop. You've got anything from 1 to 3 laps there, and then they serve pancakes at the finish. So what could go wrong in the rain? On the 12th of October, we've got the Perth Running Festival, which is completely sold out from what I understand. We've had a few tickets given away on our Instagram a couple of weeks back. And I'm not sure if all the people who won those tickets are actually going to run the marathon, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've got Pemby Trail Fest on the 17th and running through to the 19th down in Pemberton. There's a Friday night run of 7K. There's multiple distances on the Saturday and the Sunday. and including a kids run. So anyone heading down there, looking forward to seeing. I'm sure Rido Ash Ritson will be down there. She seems to be running every trail race she can get to at the moment. So in fact, I think she is running the 50K. I might be already. I might already know that. So that'll be interesting to see. We've got the Athletics West Summer Seasons kicking off on the 17th of October. That's Program A. I think there's a 2,000 metre steeple and a 1,500 metres there. So if you haven't got your registration sorted, now's the time. I think Simon has officially registered for track this summer. So he's got his as an independent. He might have spent a little more money than he needed to, because I think you can technically get it for less if you go through the Masters Athletics WA, so which I think Dean Menzies does. He runs for Masters Aths WA, and being an accountant, I'm sure that Dean's not passing money away too easily. So that's maybe worth considering for anyone over the age of 30. We've got the John Gilmore track race hosted by the WA Marathon Club out at Coker Park in Cannington on the 24th of October. Did you run that last year, Vicky? Were you there?
I have not run that race, no. But
you were at the track at the Strive event, weren't you? At the community? Yes, yep.
Yes, that one. I might do that one though. I've decided that I'm going to suddenly find some speed from somewhere.
Yeah, it's a fun race. I mean, if you can deal with the 25 laps of a course, but I did it first time last year, which was interesting, like pacing Simon to his PB. But they have an A and a B race. So if anyone's out there looking to run 10K, it's probably the fastest place you're going to find to do it on the track. On the 26th of October, we've got the Perth Duathlon and Running Works Festival out at Champion Lakes. There's a 5K, 10K, half marathon, and obviously the duathlon if that's your thing. And then finally on this list, we've got Coast Trek Margaret River on the 31st of October. Down in Margaret River. So, yeah, a team
busy
track.
Month.
Very busy month in October. And then I think there's even more coming in November, but we'll save that for down the track.
Yeah, nice. Couple of observations. I got an email from the Marathon Club today letting me know that if I am a Marathon Club member, for the Perth Running Festival, I won't because I'm not doing it, but if I was, I get access to a VIP marquee from 5:30 a.m, which almost made me want to enter, to be honest. So you get private VIP toilets, refreshments to refuel pre and post run, place to leave your bag, ice baths, WAMC merch, and more. And even if you're not entered in the event, I think you can still access the marquee. I've read somewhere. Or
you might just be down there just to use the toilet in peace.
I might pop down just to use the toilet, yeah. But yeah, isn't that great? I was just wanting to give a shout out to the Marathon Club because I think that's awesome to put something like that on for their members.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think they had the tent last year, but I don't remember the ice bath. So I am keen to jump in the ice bath after a marathon next Sunday, which will be good.
Nice. Well done, Marathon Club. Very good.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing great work. Even if they're kind of doing it behind the scenes in this running festival, it's they're still doing a lot of the hard work and obviously very much appreciated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Vicky. Well, let's get on to these verbalisations for this week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, great. Okay. Well, okay. So the first one is we have our Road to Kwinana Freeway live show on the 1st of October, which is this Wednesday. So we have all 4 of our Road to Kwinana marathon and half marathon runners. Yeah. At the running centre. I think there are possibly a handful of tickets still remaining. And before so that starts at 6. The aim is to start 6:30, 6:45-ish in the evening. Before that, we have our community run there as well around Kings Park starting at 5:30. So I'm asking, I sound like I don't know what's going on, don't I? I'm just waiting for you to validate me.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming I'm getting this right. So, so if you don't want to join us for the live show, and I don't know why on earth you wouldn't, but if you didn't and you just want to come for a run from 5:30 at the running centre, there's always a good crew there on a Wednesday evening, and it's a great run and great to support the the shop as well, and the guys up there. And then, come and support our awesome athletes that we will be interviewing on stage, or Chris, you'll be interviewing on stage while me and Simon kind of do something useful.
Take photos or something. Yeah. The interesting thing about this episode too we'll have Raf Ball on stage to talk through marathon mindset. So not only will it benefit the athletes that are there, if anyone wants to come along and try and fine tune their mental side of their game ahead of their races, whether it be Perth or Melbourne on the 12th, it's a perfect opportunity, perfect timing. It'll help you deal with the paranoia in the final 2 weeks of your taper. And Raf's got a wealth of experience, and looking forward to hearing what he says on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I can vouch for the fact that it will absolutely be insightful with Raf on the mic, because when we did the last community run there with Puma a couple of weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to run with Raf, and it was like I felt like I was having life lessons with Raf for 6Ks or whatever we did. It was very insightful. I just felt like he wasn't even talking to me. I was just listening into a conversation he was having, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, it's great. How useful, philosophical. Come and learn from Raf. Definitely one not to miss. That was the only useful thing I've got to say. The other things are just kind of, one's a bit of a moan, actually, a rant about Perth toilets and how, I don't know whether this is everywhere in Perth, but City of Stirling really need to sort themselves out with the timing of their toilets being opened in the morning. 6 a.m. is definitely not early enough to open toilets for people to use. Like, especially now it's light at before 5:30, and the weather's getting nicer. I was running on Thursday morning, and we probably had, there were two of the girls I was running with. One ran another 1.5 kilometres to get to a toilet that was open. That was how how dire the situation was in Scarborough at 5:55. And the other managed to get to one which was just open. Just managed to get there, and 6 a.m. it opened. But I just think that's ridiculous. Like, does everybody need to use the bathroom before 6 a.m.?
Exactly. No, it's outrageous. I think Claysbrook has the same problem. I think we told a story on a past episode a while back now of our friend David Nguyen, who didn't quite make it to the toilet one day at Claysbrook. So just waiting for that to open, which was absolutely cruel, but it was quite funny from my perspective. But I guess if you're going for a number two, but I think even if you're going for a number one, there's male privilege. Like blokes just jump in the bush often and just kind of dip off, but it's not that easy for women to do. So. So it would make more sense to have toilets open 24 hours basically to facilitate public access, for people who want to run at 5 o'clock or 4:30 or whatever time it might be, let alone.
I guess there's people camping out in there and vandalism and various reasons why they wouldn't do that, but I don't know. It just seems. I agree with you. Male privilege is one thing that I got frustrated at Sydney, because there was all these men just jumping on the side of the road, and I had to wait 6K to get to a bathroom, as did many other women that were running nearby me. But yeah, I just think like, we're not in the English countryside where you can just duck behind a hedge. It's like we're on Scarborough foreshore. There's nowhere to stop. Like, exactly, have some privacy. So
100% with you there. I think like even there's ones that you have. There's a couple of Elizabeth Quay there, which are 24 hours. Look, granted, they're probably not well cared for and they get vandalised quite heavily. But there's a couple around in the city of Melville which I know are open 24 hours and use frequently. So very fortunate in that regard. But it's frustrating on such a popular running route not to have. Access.
Yeah, well, maybe somebody from City of Stirling is listening and will hear my plea. Please open the toilets a little bit earlier. Like 4:30, I think would do. 4:30, 5 a.m. even would be great. Thank you. Yeah. And then I don't know what. To be honest, I'm not sure what I'm mentioning with the next one. I was just thinking this morning about the post-run coffee and how bigger part of the run it actually is, to me anyway. And I don't know whether you feel the same, Chris, but I just, a lot of the time I go to the run because I get to sit and have a coffee afterwards, and that's literally why I turn up. I certainly on a Thursday for my yellow run, even if I really don't want to get out of bed at 4:30, I'm like, by the time I get to coffee, I'll be happy. And that's why what gets me there. So it's just a nice thing to do. And then this morning, I actually want to give a shout out to Jules Bennett, who shouted all the coffees on our our surcharge run this morning. Yeah. And it's called the surcharge run because it's a public holiday and there's a big surcharge at an already quite expensive coffee shop in Perth, which shall remain nameless. And yeah, Jules just footed the bill. So thanks, Jules, for that.
Must
very
have picked up the lotto on the weekend.
Possibly. Yeah, no, she didn't. She was like, oh, I'm just standing there with my card, so I'll just pay for everybody. Yeah, it's very nice.
That's very generous of her.
Yeah.
Has John Pence paid for his coffees yet after he won that race a couple of weeks ago?
No, he still hasn't. Again, he goes out on a longer run than most of us, and he also runs a lot slower than the rest of us because we tend to do it as a bit of a progressive run or a negative split run. And he goes out at his very easy pace, which he's a master at, and runs 14K. So by the time he gets back, everyone's already got their coffees. But he did treat us to his trophy on Thursday, so that was nice.
It's very kind of him.
Yeah. So he brought that up for everyone to look at.
Yeah, very good.
But yeah, no, can't call him out anymore. He did try, bless him.
Yeah. No, the post-run coffee is not really a thing. For me, I don't drink coffee, so.
Okay, interesting.
I know, right? Very weird, but I guess 80 or 90% of my running is solo. So, and often the time that I'm running with someone, it might be a long run. So, or a session on a Thursday typically. And so, the Thursdays maybe I could go and grab a juice or something with Simon and Matt while they have a coffee. Maybe I will put that to them next time to see, maybe it becomes more of a social thing rather than just getting out there and whacking out a session together. And just kind of once you've been running and you've got all those hormones flowing, your brain starts to function, your conversation starts to flow, right? I guess you probably find that with all those runs you do at Yellow.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, to be fair, again, Yellow, the crew are a lot faster than me. So I tend to be hanging on for dear life. So the coffee is the point at which I can talk. And I tend to not be able to talk very much while I'm actually running, or somebody's just talking to me and I'm just going, yeah. But yeah, I guess it's just what you're used to. And I agree with you. I wouldn't do it on my own. I wouldn't drive to a coffee shop and finish there so I could have a coffee. It's a more of a social thing. Sure. But I do also, I wouldn't necessarily go to a run if I hadn't got time for a coffee afterwards. I'd just run from home and run back to my door and then just get ready for work. So tomorrow the Wolves are kicking off their corgis for the summer, and I won't go because I have to get to work and I can't stop for coffee. And I'm like, what's the point in going if I can't have a coffee?
Yeah, fair. If you're not talking while you're running, what's the point? Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I just love the post-run coffee. So
yeah. Many people do. All right, cool. Any other anecdotes from you this week, Vicky?
No, nothing really interesting, I'm afraid. Sorry. But the weapons are great, so we'll get into them because there's some awesome. We've already talked about a lot of incredible human beings, particularly Macca and Aaron, that are doing a great job. But some of these weapons are just another level altogether.
Yeah, for sure. So a big one, we'll start off with maybe the biggest one. Tom Radonic of the Stubborn Mule Running Club has been out there running 42 laps of Mundy Park Run over the last couple of days, raising money for the Leukemia Foundation. The run which he's just completed this afternoon, totaled, I think, 210 kilometres and over 9,000 metres of elevation in an attempt to equal the height of Mount Everest. So, some incredible stuff there from Tom. I think he had a few supporters out there, saw a brief video of him finishing or crossing the finish line with some hazard tape or something like that this afternoon. We'll pop up a link so that people can donate to the Leukemia Foundation, to his page. Incredible story, and maybe one we can get on the podcast soon, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome to get him on. That run is in memory of Jeff Hansen, who was a good friend of mine and ran with him quite a bit. He was diagnosed with leukemia and very, very sadly passed away quite quickly after running Boston Marathon just a few months earlier. He was he did a lot for the running community, and he was the founder. I'm not sure whether you'd call it that, but I think he designed the Mundy Park Run course. So that was the kind of link to Tom's event that he's done. So just an incredible achievement from Tom for an incredible human being in Jeff.
Yeah, no, amazing stuff. All right, well, I think we've also got here a couple of WA reps in Liam Kamudu. He's competed over the Vitality 10K in London, which I think is one of the biggest events in London in the running calendar over there. He ran a 32:15 with a 1 minute PB, which I think he's running a debut marathon in Germany. I think it might be Frankfurt or something in the next couple of months. So excited to see what Liam puts together for that. But a 1 minute PB over 10K is an incredible. I think he ran his previous 10K at the John Gilmore track race last October. So massive stuff there. Suzi MacMahon from Frontrunner. She's over in the UK with family, but she also ran the Knutsford 10K and ran a PB of 37:35 with an H category win and ninth female overall there. We've got
awesome
Dawn.
Stuff.
One here from you, Dawn Barker. She's been doing some Achilles rehab. She ran 2.5 hours. Rode 2.5 hours on the bike in her garage yesterday. Post her. Sorry, you might have to explain this one to me, Vicky, because I'm struggling.
I wrote this in note form. Sorry. Yeah, so Dawn did Sydney Marathon 4 weeks ago, and ran a PB there. An amazing time. And I think I haven't quite followed, but she's definitely picked up an injury. And I saw today, I think she'd been done a little bit of a run walk, and it was a Achilles she mentioned in there. But yeah, she's been on the bike today or yesterday. I think she did 2.5 hours. Or 60 Ks it was, on the bike in her garage, staring at a wall. And I just think that people that are either prehabbing or rehabbing injuries and are doing that kind of stuff indoors just need to be celebrated, because that's awesome. And I know that there'll be lots of other people out there doing similar things, but it takes a lot of mental determination and strength to be able to do that and to go, no, I'm not going to run, I'm going to rest it, and I'm going to just crack on the bike and stick on YouTube or whatever and crank out the kilometers. She's training I think she's heading to New York in November, so she's obviously got to keep some level of fitness up. But yeah, just shout out to Dawn, because she's awesome.
Yeah, amazing stuff, Dawn. Also had a couple here. We had James Collins, aka Jimmy Runs, on Instagram and YouTube. He's discovered his new secret sauce, dialing in his recovery protocol ahead of Perth Running Festival. He ate a whole tub, 1 litre of connoisseur cookies and cream after his Sunday long run, and woke up this morning feeling $1 million. So look, Jimmy, I see you, mate. That's my go-to every Sunday night. I had the same flavour this weekend. So
I was going to ask, would that be your flavour of choice?
Well, I mean, my actual flavour of choice would probably be vanilla, because I'm just boring. But I can't go past a good vanilla ice cream. But cookies and cream as probably the flavour of the household at the moment. So that tends to be what we land on, which is great. And then finally, Shannon Burgoyne, for giving up her work and being a supportive and loving wife, watching Macca run selfishly for hundreds of kilometres through the bush, but also seems to be logging a few runs of her own with a bit of elevation. So maybe Shannon's planning an FKT attempt of her own in the next year or two. I did notice, however, that she's given her watch to a Jack Herman, who has gone out for a run and given her some charity kilometres for the week. So I wonder how much Jack is charging to be a Strava mule.
I have actually seen her posting on Instagram and running and doing that video herself while she's running. And all I'm thinking is, please don't fall over. Please watch where you're going. Please. Because if it was me doing that, I would definitely be on my face. So yeah, Shannon, please be careful. Don't fall over and hurt yourself while you're out in the middle of the bush with the snakes.
Yeah, exactly. The last thing you need. And, she's just coming off an injury, so she wants to make sure she stays safe. But no, good stuff, Shannon. Good to see you. The fear of hills is diminishing. And
exciting,
yeah, look, we'll see what comes up for you in the next few months. But Vicky, I reckon that wraps us up for tonight. What do you reckon?
I reckon we did quite well to fill 46 minutes. I was just nattering about nothing much.
That's good stuff. No, even if Daddy's not here, we can still get the job done. So very, very happy to join you this evening, Vicky. Thanks for joining me. And to everybody out there, if you wish to get in touch with us, our Instagram is WA Running Pod. Our email is warunningpodcast@gmail.com, and our Strava club is Warp. Vicky, I guess I'll see you Wednesday night at the running centre for our live show, and hopefully see a few of our listeners there. That's us.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
Kai here. It's Simon, the podcast daddy, editing this episode. Can't seem to edit out this clicking that I've been hearing throughout this episode. Don't know who it is. I'm going to blame it on the new kid on the block, Vicky. It's definitely not Chris. Anyway, if you can hear the clicking, apologies. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.